guys are all hyped up tonight. We're going to have some fun. What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Tonight, we have a very interesting stream, and I will go ahead and start off by saying that as of now, compared to what we've seen yesterday, we have a new ball game in the Atlantic. We have our area of interest that is really showing signs that it's going to be developing and potentially impacting land. And we're going to be talking about that tonight. But before we do, we have a lot of callers who would like to come in and talk about this as well. So we're going to go ahead and get those guys introduced so that way we can do that. And we'll go ahead and start with Delta. Delta, say hello to the audience.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We also have Ian. Ian, say hello.
Sup, y'all?
We also have Kent on the line. Kent, say hello.
What's going on, y'all?
And we have LTW. LTW, say hello.
Hello.
And Fast is currently muted right now, but if he wants to pop in, go ahead and say hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Starting off, we have we've only been streaming for 4 minutes, and we already have 140 concurrent viewers, which is absolutely incredible. So be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. I was about to say, has Weather Kingdom been hyping up the stream a lot recently? Because, man, things are getting pretty interesting. So, okay. In the meantime, though, we'll go ahead and get into it right here. Let's go ahead and put that right there. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. Here is what we have for the National Hurricane Center. We're just going to dive into the NHC and then talk more satellite imagery right here. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a $10 donation from the Enrique right here, already starting off the stream. This is giving me weaker Irma vibes. We'll talk more about that a little bit later down the road, but I want to go ahead and get all the data in first. First of all, before I get started, does my mic seem okay, or does it seem like a little too fired up?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right, perfect.
I hear you perfectly.
All right, wonderful. Just making sure. But yeah, thank you for the $10 donation. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So here's what we got for you right here. This is our area of interest, considerably shifted further to the south than what we've seen previously. The 12Z runs really went haywire with this as well and shifted everything further to the south, and we'll talk about those in just a second. But here's what we got for you tonight. And after I read out the advisory, we're going to go ahead and get some callers' opinions and some ideas of what may potentially happen with this down the road. Here's what we got. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic several hundred miles west-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands remains disorganized. Environmental conditions are conducive for development of the system during the next several days, and a tropical depression is likely to form late this week or weekend over the over the eastern or central tropical Atlantic while moving slowly to the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So this system really has slowed down considerably. But anyway, the system is likely to move faster toward the west or west-northwest thereafter it reaches the waters east of the Lesser Antilles by the middle part of next week. 40% chance in the next 48 hours, 80% in the next 7 days. So we have quite a bit to go over with this invest tonight, and Weather Kingdom will be joining us hopefully very soon as well, so we can get his insight on this as well. But to the callers that are in right now, based on what you're seeing so far with this AOI, what are your overall thoughts? And I know Brendan just popped in. We'll get him on in a second, but I want everyone else to go ahead and take a grab at it.
A little nerve-wracking. We should definitely keep an eye on it. Yeah, just be prepared, expect the unexpected.
All right. Anyone else?
Okay. No, you go. You go. No, you go first, Delta. You go first.
Go ahead, Delta.
All right, thank you. Not going in a direction that we would like. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right, Ian, go for it.
Okay, so I think this was completely unexpected. I think when it came off of the coast of Africa, a lot of us, myself included, thought this was going to go out to sea or maybe impact Newfoundland.
Right.
And stuff like that. We all thought it was maybe a Newfoundland type of situation.
Or even an Aaron repeat.
Or an Aaron repeat. But now, considering how farther south it is than we anticipated, this is a really big threat to the Caribbean, more so the Lesser Antilles.
Absolutely.
We're not going to talk about the U.S. much just yet. We still need more data. And I think, in my honest opinion, if you all remember how Aaron stayed weak and then exploded right near the Antilles, I'm not saying this is going to happen with this system, but I'm thinking there is a shot that this could potentially happen. I'm not doing this to scare anyone. I'm just thinking there is a chance this might do the same thing. Considering, Aaron was in, what were the water temperatures that Aaron was in when it exploded?
About 29 degrees Celsius. Or about
and I
84
think
Fahrenheit.
I think these are similar waters. Let me check. Let me check.
I think they're much warmer. They're getting much warmer in the Caribbean. Last time I checked.
Yeah,
let
me see this.
Wow. And the OHC is more volatile.
Oh yeah, this is 29 to 30 degrees. So yeah, this is honestly even more volatile than what Aaron went in, which is this is scary. So I'm not saying this will pull an Aaron, but I'm saying the potential is there. I'm not saying, this is definitely going to be a Category 5 because I'm not saying that just yet.
Let's not even talk about that. This isn't even.
We
don't even have an LLC on this right now.
This hasn't formed, but I just want to say we're not going to jump to that conclusion just yet.
Of course,
we need more data and we need to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying there's the potential that this try and pulls an Aaron, but we're not certain yet. This doesn't even have an LLC, so I don't know why I'm talking about this, but
all right.
Yeah. And that's all I really have to say.
Sure.
Now, there has been GFS models putting the East Coast in the line of fire, but we're not going to talk about that until much later on.
Thank you very much.
That's the speculation at this point.
All right.
That's speculation at this point.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ian. My thoughts on this right here is I kind of talked about it at the beginning of the stream. This is a new ball game. So
Indeed.
It's a little nerve-wracking to see this far because with Aaron, what I recall is we saw ticks further to the west. Yeah, David is in the stream. I wouldn't jump into we have Cat 4 or 5 yet. 100%. This isn't even. We don't even have an LLC on this yet. Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that, David. But one thing I will say is, compared to Aaron, when we saw ticks of shifts further to the west, like small increments, these are gigantic shifts further to the west and further to the south. And that has kind of been my main concern with this right here. So let's go ahead and pull up some satellite imagery because I want to kind of give the audience an understanding as to what we're looking at and why I'm putting some people on notice right now, because I posted on Instagram that the Lesser Antilles are going to be on notice. I'm putting them on notice tonight for this particular reason. The reason I'm putting them on notice is because of, number one, how far south these models have shifted, and number two, it's not just a one-time thing. They've continued to do that, and they've put more of the Antilles in the line of fire. Matter of fact, the 12C European, by the time it gets to those islands, is pretty much in the has a system crashing into St. Lucia. So obviously a little far out, but we need to pay attention to it right here. But here's what we got right here. This is where our area of interest is currently. It's this little blob of convection right here. This is why this is not an invest, ladies and gentlemen. It's still number one, attached to the ITCZ, and number two, it still doesn't have much convection going for it that's producing on its own. That's where we're at with this. So we'll need to pay attention to see how this will ultimately play out. But by and large, we have something to watch here. And I know Brendan is muted. If Brendan would like to join in and talk about this system very, very briefly, he can. But Brendan, our general manager, if you're here, if you'd like to add anything to this, go for it.
Yeah, thanks for having me as always. Yeah, I think I echo, I think everything that has been said thus far. Definitely the lesser Antilles need to be on notice. I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but Hiko out in the Pacific with
that's
Hawaii
also another threat we're watching.
Is another threat, and I know we'll get into that tonight if we haven't already, but the one comment I want to make even on that is I am expecting some level of impacts to the Big Island.
Of course.
And possibly Oahu as well. And I think one thing that is going to be something we watch here, not just in the short term, but also the long term, is the threat for more tropical systems to impact Hawaii directly in the future. There's been a lot of science that points to Hawaii. While we haven't seen a lot of impacts historically to Hawaii, it's been a pretty rare event to see even a Category 1 impact the state.
100%.
It is something that we expect to see happen more frequently. The challenge in forecasting Hawaii and why the models even struggle is that historically we don't have a lot of data to go off of. It's a pretty short time horizon with the data that we have to reference. And so it makes forecasting tropical systems pretty challenging for that state. But make no mistake about it, the sea surface temperatures continue to warm within that region, along with a lot of places around the world.
Yep.
And Hawaii is no stranger to that either. So I think, Kiko is, I think, going to set the standard for what we will likely see here in even the next 5 years, Pat. Tropical weather becoming more and more of a direct threat to the state. And we've really got to watch that closely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and I also would like to say that I think the last time, the closest hurricane to come towards Hawaii in recent years was Douglas in 2020. That was a Category 1 north of the islands, like right nearby. And I think the only time of like a major hurricane has hit the state of Hawaii was Iniki in 1992.
Yes.
Like, which was so, and that was a different situation. It was south and then sharply turned to the north and made landfall in, I believe,
it was the
Kauai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kauai.
Yeah. And I think it was a Category 4 if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was a 3 or a 4. I'll have to look at the analogs, but
yeah, I think it was a 4. It was a Cat 4, which was very intense, and that was a disaster. So, yeah, I think it's possible. We'll definitely see more like that in the future. I'm not saying like with Kiko, I think it will weaken, and probably will be a tropical storm by the time it hits Hawaii. And I would be surprised if it actually did end up being a hurricane landfall. That would very much surprise me.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that down the line, but ultimately that's where we're this is where we're at with Kaiko right now, or Kiko. We also have Lorena out here in the Eastern Pacific that's going to crash potentially into parts of Baja California as a tropical storm. We'll have to pay attention to that as well, but the main topic for tonight, and I'm sure this is why a lot of people are here on the stream, is what's going on in the Atlantic. So we'll definitely be covering all of these threats tonight because we have so much to go off of. And also we have a lot of people that we're probably going to be bringing in throughout the show. So we're definitely going to be talking about all of these threats down the line, but the main focus will generally be what's going on with this AOY in the Atlantic. So that's what's going on. Okay. Apparently, someone's saying that they can't hear me, but I have.
I can hear you.
You got everyone in the stream. You guys are okay if you guys can hear me, right? Because I know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we
I
can
know
hear
if I turn
you.
my mic up a bit more, it's gonna not be the most fantastic audio quality, but that's where we're at. So, okay, perfect. All right, so that's good. Okay, so this is your situation. Okay, so this is the situation that we have. I'll just bump this up a little bit right here. Okay, so here's your situation that we got right here. Yeah, with what we have in the Atlantic, like I said, this is why it's not an invest. It's very broad. Number one, the circulation. Number two, you don't have a lot of convection with it. But the conditions are so ripe for development. The NHC is already going for an 80% chance of development. So that's something you're going to want to watch out for as well. And speaking of conditions, let's go ahead. Actually, Delta, I'm very sorry about this. I promised you I would show you guys this, but I didn't. Let's go ahead and show you guys this. This is my stream for you guys right here. This is on satellite imagery, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some water vapor imagery as well, because I want to talk about this as well as look at true color if we have enough frames for that. But here's your water vapor imagery. This is why this has such a high chance of development. It's in a pretty considerable area of moisture. It's like there's no dry air that's going to be impeding this right here. It's a lot further to the south than we originally anticipated, which, by the way, I do want to point out very quickly, when we originally were talking about this, this was expected to kind of move off of Africa pretty much in line with the Cabo Verde Islands. That was the original thinking. But it's shifted further and further and further to the south, to the point where we're at a situation where this is now, instead of going out to sea or maybe pulling an air in at worst, this is going to potentially crash into the Antilles. And that's why I'm so worried about this. Because every single track I've looked at is, and every single model is still trying to adjust to the southward shifts we have seen with this right here. Its current location, based on what I'm seeing right here, based on the X by the NHC, is like about 11 to it's about 11 degrees north right here, which, especially compared to Erin, that is way further to the south. That's hundreds of miles further to the south. So that's kind of another thing right here, and that as a result of that, it's staying away from this dry air right here. It's staying away from this dry air pocket that we have for you, and ultimately, it's allowing for it to be in better conditions. And another thing to mention too is this is staying down shear. There's some wind shear to the north of this system, but it's mainly staying away from it because it's so far to the south. So that's something that we're watching as well. By and large, much better conditions than we were originally anticipating, and that's why the NHC is really spiking with these chances right here, and that's why we're streaming tonight talking about this. So we're going to have to watch out for that as well. Would anyone else like to give any thoughts on their take on the conditions and all of that stuff as well?
Yeah, speaking of conditions, I want to send something in VC no mic.
Go ahead and send it to live no mic LTW. You have, I think you have access to
live no mic.
Oh, you got
no
OHC. You have the OHC.
This is the OHC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
And it's, if it goes into the Caribbean, then it could potentially get even stronger.
Absolutely.
Because it's been untapped since what storm?
Aaron.
At least in this part of the Atlantic barrel.
Oh, my bad. Barrel. That my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, LTW.
Yeah. And it could also go into the explosive Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at that right now as a potential scenario, but at this point, that's a little bit far out at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely can see where you're coming from, but like I definitely think that's a little far out.
Go LTW. If you have more to add, please continue.
Yeah, I know it's far. I'm just like giving like a small prediction. Like if it goes in here, this could happen.
Sure.
Yeah, and I feel like out to sea is, we could just throw that out the window.
Yeah, that's not happening. This is not going out to sea.
24 hours ago, that was a possibility. Now it's it's very unlikely. This is like Aaron before. It was possible it could head towards land, but it was mostly likely going to stay out to sea. This is the exact opposite scenario.
This is the opposite scenario. It's this. I think it's just at this point, it's pretty much it's just a matter of when it hits land. That's just
Yeah.
me though. That's me personally.
Let's
I
just-
think this
yeah.
is no shot. This goes out to sea. It's hitting land, and it's gonna be. This could be
Well,
bad.
we don't
like
know for absolute
Yeah.
certainty. The models are definitely shifting that way. I mean, weather's unpredictable. Let's be honest about
that
that.
is true.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Anything
I
can
mean,
happen. But
I mean, yeah. Like for for example, like oh, sorry. I mean, I'm just saying, for example, like Hurricane Otis, we thought, oh, it's going to be a tropical storm. Ended up being a Cat 5 landfall in Acapulco, Mexico.
Yeah.
That's just an example of how unpredictable it is.
Yeah, that's
as
but-
well.
Yeah, but also another unpredictability, maybe the other way, is Hurricane Lee back in 2023. Exploded in
Oh.
intensity as a Category 5, but then some shear got into it, underwent an eyewall replacement cycle, and it never fully recovered as well. It didn't get above Cat 3 strength for the rest of its run, and it ultimately just the structure could never recover. So,
But
that's what
I
we
think
had. Go ahead.
I think at least everybody on here has seen what the GFS is saying and is a little hyped up about it.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and pull up model runs now, if that's okay with you guys. Because what I want to do with this is I want to show the shift and why I'm so worried about this. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the European. Here's the 0Z Euro, and ultimately here's where we had. This is actually what I put out in today's video, as a matter of fact. So here's what we had with the 0Z. System takes its time to organize and consolidate. It remains pretty broad for the next 3 days or so, and then it starts to tighten up as it gets towards around 40 degrees north. It still moves relatively slow, but we're already at potentially tropical depression status right here, and it starts to tighten up pretty considerably right here as we get to tropical storm strength by 5 days out, according to the European. But it's this ridge that's up here that's especially been really strong, according to the European, stronger than what we were originally anticipating, that is kind of having the system head towards the Lesser Antilles right here. So the European 0Z had this really ramping up in intensity, potentially all the way up to Category 2 strength. But the European, I feel like in the 0Z, overestimated the dry air problems it would have down the road. And I don't really see that because, especially in this stage, unless there's some wind shear surrounding it, it could, like, all the dry air around this could get mixed out pretty easily. And I'll go ahead and show you why I think that. Because what we're looking at right here, this is the dry air aspect of it. A lot of this is mixable dry air right here, and what I mean by that is it's dry air, but it can easily be mixed out, and a good outflow boundary will push it out and kind of convert that into a moist environment. So that's what the European does, and it kind of has it weakening as it heads towards the Lesser Antilles, which again I'm not a personal fan of with this because of that bias right here. The only way for that to happen is if some wind shear unexpectedly surges in that environment and then just ultimately starts chipping away at the structure. But this is what we had at 0Z. By 10 days out, this system was heading to, it was east of Puerto Rico. That's where we were at this current point this morning when I was recording this video. This is where we're at 12Z. Boom.
Mhm.
Much further to the
Wow.
south. Or south of Puerto Rico. And another thing as well, this system gets yanked up to the north, which it kind of exacerbates the southward shift right here. Looking at this right here compared to the 0Z, it's night and day. It is night and day. The 6Z was going absolutely ballistic, by the way. The 6Z was really exploding on this, having this at like 955 millibars at this point. But at 6 days, but I personally don't think it's going to get that strong unless this somehow pulls something unexpected like a barrel. But ultimately, here's where we're at, still nearing hurricane strength as this crashes into St. Lucia. Then it gets yanked up to the north by this trough over here, and then crashes into Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, and starts to generally get a bit more disorganized because of the mountains. It remains an open wave for some time right here, but then it starts to regenerate off the east coast. But that's really far out right here. And considering the southward shift, this could be by 0Z something else right here. GBF with the $2 donation. Thank you very much. It really helps out. Also, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. And as always, all support is appreciated. All donations are appreciated, and all of that as well. Also, join the Storms United Discord server if you'd like to call in, give some look at the behind the scenes and all of that stuff. It's in the pinned chat right there. Feel free to join us. We'd be happy to do that. So there's that. I know someone in chat saying I only said GBF gay best friend. So I do apologize for that. But then again, hey. We're having a little bit of an interesting time tonight with just all the data that we're ingesting right here. So, based on what we've seen with these shifts, guys, what's your take on this, and what's your main concern with what we've seen?
Well, I'm not really concerned, but the fact that the GFS said South Carolina, somebody else said it said North Carolina. I've only seen that it was going to go to the Outer Banks, and
we're not going to consider the U.S. at this point right now.
I think for right now, it's best we don't do that, Kent, because it's so far out. Like by the time it gets there, it's 2 weeks out. So I think it would be best if we just take it one region at a time, and just focus on that. Now, if it gets to the point where it potentially puts the U.S. in play, and we start seeing more model support with that, absolutely we can talk about that. So we'll do that. So yeah.
And I personally think, this putting the Leeward Islands in the line of fire and stuff like that, I think this has the potential to be something just, I don't even know what to say. I do not know what to say. Like, this is just, if you're in the Leeward Islands, just please watch this and be prepared.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm putting you guys on notice just because of how south the shifts are with this, and based on what I'm seeing, actually, just out of my own curiosity, I want to see what the 0Z compared. Oh, okay. That explains the southward shift. The ridge is, according to the 12Z, is a bit further to the southwest and stronger. That's why it's driving it to the south. That's interesting.
That's bad.
That is interesting. So that's your European right there, really leading the charge. Just for my own interest and curiosity, what is the 12Z European ensembles looking like based on what we're seeing? Just going to do this. Yeah. Okay. That explains a lot. And compared to the 0Z ensembles with this, oh yeah, considerably further to the west. That explains the operational charge. And the bulk of a lot of these models too, with the exception of the insanely powerful ones over here that move up to the west due to Coriolis force, and right here will ultimately have this system crashing into the Antilles. Intensity is still very uncertain because a lot can happen, but still, that's where we're at with this right in here. So that's your European run right here. Do you guys have anything more to add, or would you like to move on to the GFS?
All I'm gonna say is the track is still somewhat uncertain.
Okay.
Other than the Antilles.
Okay. All right, for sure. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Just taking a quick gander at that. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the GFS. Now, just the reason I'm showing this is to show the shift, not to say, oh, something big is going to happen for your area. I'm mainly showing the shift as to why I'm a bit worried about this. So, yeah, okay, T-Volt's just listening into the stream. So, yeah, if he wants to call in, he can, and all of that. So, we'll do that. But here's the GFS right here. The GFS has the system at 0Z pretty much developing pretty quickly. By 60 hours out, it's a tropical depression and driving further up to the north right here. Then it gets kind of caught with this ridge right here and stays to the west. And then it kind of moves further to the north right here, runs into some wind shear, at least compared to what we've seen with the other models. And then once it gets past that, it starts to intensify out to sea right here. This is what we saw at 0Z with the GFS. Right here, this is about 9 days out by the time it gets towards Bermuda. So that's what you have with your 0Z. run right here. Here's what we had at 6Z right here. 6Z, oh, that's quite a bit further. Let me take a quick, just to see it. Oh, that's a massive shift to the south right there. Considerable shift. Where does this originate, actually?
It was way out.
Yeah. Where's it? Yeah, where's it? Where's does it originate? Okay, yeah. The GFS still favors a bit more of a strengthening period early on, but runs into a bit of wind shear. Okay, gay best friend with another $2 donation. What's the odds of this being a Florida storm? Too early to determine. Right now, I'm going to say it's relatively low because of the uncertainty. I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for the $2 donation. So, there.
Well, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're not even going to consider the U.S. right now.
No, there's
It
no
is
need to do
way
that.
too
Yeah.
early.
There's no
Way
need to
too
do that.
early.
Okay, so there's what we have the GFS right here. Here's the 6C right here. It actually runs into some shear, I think, and gets torn into an open wave and then regenerates. So that's what we had previously. Here's the 12Z, which was kind of the kicker right here, and also kind of with me kind of saying in some of the chats right here I've been talking to Weather Kingdom with, especially that, hey, I think the GFS is caving. 12Z GFS still has the system intensifying and organizing very fast, like 3 days out. I'm going to make it clear right here, I don't think it's going to develop that fast, and the satellite observations prove that. I think it's going to take more of its time because it's still a very broad circulation over there right here, and we don't really have that much convection to work with too. So, okay, apparently the stream is lagging for a second. Okay, let me go ahead and fix this very quickly. Okay, output. I'm going to cut this to 2500. All right. Okay, all right, we're fine. So, all right, so this is what we got for you right here with this 12Z with the 12Z GFS right here. And ultimately what we got, okay, we actually have according to this, we have 400 people in this. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather.
Yeah, Pat, you're lagging on our end.
Of course. Okay. Hold on. It's getting fixed. We're getting fixed. Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah, we're good
Okay.
now.
We're okay. Oh, crap. Okay, guys. We're getting this fixed. Okay. All right, we're getting... Okay. This always happens. Okay. All right. I think we're okay now. We're okay.
Yeah, you're all right on our end.
We're okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so thanks for that. We're okay now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry for that. But, yeah, hopefully this doesn't last the whole night, because that would not be pretty. And I would not be happy to say that, especially considering the amount of work I've put into this. But, okay. All right. We're fine. We'll deal with that later. But here's what we had at 12Z, and this is why I said I think the GFS is caving to the Euro right here. First of all, this has it as a category high in Cat 1, low in Cat 2, 6 days out. I'm going to be honest, no. I don't like the GFS and how aggressive this is, personally. I will say, though, It does have this trough a lot stronger, comparable to the Europeans scenario right here. So we're going to have to watch out for that. But okay. Saved by Grace with a $10 donation. Okay, this is interesting. Kind of reminds me of Andrew. They said for 2 weeks it was going out to sea, and then with 3 days notice, it walloped Florida. I also think the CIG is waking up on the Gulf side of Florida. Ugh. Thank you for the $10 donation. We really appreciate that. But ultimately,
a lot of it had to do with where technology was and where data was at the time.
Yeah, the technology just wasn't at that level of knowledge yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Actually, I want to bring this up very quickly. Part of the reason Andrew didn't go out to sea was because it was still a weak tropical storm, and a ridge just built up on top of it and allowed for it to just drive west. So That's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of a tidbit right there.
And all the while strengthening into a Category 5 as it made landfall.
It took its time to do that, but
That is true, but that's true. But yeah, but still,
okay.
it was a bit of a quick development.
Oh yeah, it
Data
did.
today
Once it
would've-
hit those 29 degrees Celsius waters near the Bahamas, it did. But
It took off, yeah.
yeah, so this is what
Today's
we have. Okay, go ahead.
Today's hurricane models would have recognized it a lot quicker.
1000%
Yeah.
guaranteed. Anyway, so back to this right here. There's the 12Z GFS, and just to give you an idea of what we were looking at a week out, let's compare it to the 0Z. It's night and day. Night
yeah.
and day. I don't like the intensity of this, but the track shifting this far to the south in 12 hours. Normally those would, okay, I will tell you this. Normally those would be kind of red flags and say, okay, there's some unreliability to this, but I can see why. I can see why it's doing that. It's because the ridge is shifting further to the south. So I can understand that part of it. So that's something to consider as well. So here's what we have. This actually kind of pulls an air in a little bit and stays north of the Antilles and then potentially heads towards the Bahamas. Doesn't this remind you guys of something right here until it heads towards... Yeah, this is 2 weeks out, guys. We're not taking this seriously. I'm just seeing this. I'm just showing you guys this just to show you guys this.
If it's okay if I just jump in, Pat, for a sec.
Okay, go for it.
Is that anything out right now? There is a good chance that it approaches the Lesser Antilles.
Okay.
They would be the first ones to get anything.
All right.
If it's just an open wave, which is unlikely, or a high-end hurricane,
no,
which
this-
is unlikely.
okay.
Why right now,
Why does the
expecting a tropical
why is my
depression,
internet
maybe a
lagging
storm.
right now? You've got to be
So
okay.
anything beyond the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, is a big question mark at the moment. This storm is all this
Okay,
tropical
we're
wave.
doing
It's not
okay.
even an invest.
We're doing
Yeah.
okay now. All right.
It's moving at 5 to 10 miles an hour.
I'm sorry, guys.
It is crawling.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing okay for right now. All right, go ahead and repeat what you said because we were lagging. Guys, if you need to, refresh the stream so that way we can get that situated, but we're doing okay for right now.
Yeah, I was just going over the fact that this model run at the end was showing a huge hurricane slamming into the southeastern United States.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks out. We need to focus on the first potential impacts, which are in the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands. Those are the first people that are going to get hit by whatever this turns into be. It could be an open wave, which is unlikely. It's possible. It could just be nothing.
All right.
It can also be a big hurricane, which is unlikely. But with the conditions ahead of it, it's not out of the question, because I did send a live no mic. There is 29 degrees Celsius waters all the way out to the Lesser Antilles.
Okay.
Along with good amount of OHC. But all those saying that, it might hit Florida, it's far too early to say.
Too early to tell.
Good example of it.
Very early.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'll say
Aaron
I'm hyped with the idea that it could hit the East Coast.
Yeah. All right. We got a $2 donation from Greg. Hey, shout out Greg, one of our biggest supporters here in the Pat's Path Predictor channel. He's been doing a great job for us. He actually works with emergency management in Georgia, so that is a huge W from him. Thank you very much for the donation. We really appreciate it. Thankfully, did the stream just crash?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did it?
No.
It's
Did the stream?
coming back. It's coming
Yeah,
back.
you were completely frozen on YouTube.
Okay, good.
It's coming back, but holy frick. You've got to be kidding me with this.
What happened?
I have no idea what's going on. Okay. All right.
The live just ended, someone commented.
All right.
Oh,
I'm still
Yoshi's
streaming
in
on
the
my part,
audience.
so I think we're okay.
Oh, he left.
Okay. Oh, why? Okay, well, we'll deal with it later. All right. I think, are we still streaming? Just check. Refresh the page.
Gotta refresh. Hold on.
All right, yeah, your
Uh,
YouTube is okay.
We're doing okay?
Yeah, YouTube's okay.
All right,
YouTube's okay.
okay, fine. We're doing fine. You guys can see the stream and all that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Why the hell does this crash every time I do this?
That sucks.
Okay,
Well,
we're fine.
because you're using so much bandwidth through all the people talking and also trying to host a live stream. So you're asking a lot.
Okay.
That might be true.
Well, I'll figure this out.
What is these sound problems? I swear, dude.
Hey, Yoshi.
Hello.
We're dealing with a bit of a interesting stream tonight.
What is
with
happening?
The stream keeps crashing. We're trying to talk about this area of interest, but then the stream doesn't cooperate. Okay.
So
I already
the
fixed
settings
it.
the
We're like
same as last time?
2500. The bitrate's like 2500, so we're doing
My
all right
goodness.
for now.
All right.
Anyway, I think we're okay.
Should be, anyways. Yeah, you look okay on the stream, at
Wonderful.
least on video. I got it muted.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, we're doing okay. Get up.
Yeah, you look okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and
Yeah,
get back into
The
this.
stream is ordering the McLag Ultra Deluxe meal. So real,
Yeah.
though. Pat's McDonald Wi-Fi predictor. Oh my goodness. Hands on this, Pat?
Okay, let's get back into this. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
This is serious.
So now that the stream is fixed, Yoshi, you're in the stream right now.
Yeah.
What have we covered so far?
Mainly our little friend in red right here.
Mm-hmm. Friend in red. Yeah, seen this a lot.
That's what we've been doing. So as well as just dealing with lagging internet issues. So we're gonna. Go ahead.
What did we cover so far with our friend in red?
We've talked about the NHC. We've talked about conditions and why it's not been designated an invest. And we're talking about, and we're right now talking about and going over just the amount of, just how the models have shifted and why they've shifted so far to the south. That's what we're doing right now. So that's where we're at.
Why have they shifted to the south? That's an interesting question. Do we have any answers to that yet? Before I answer, I want to hear everyone else's answers.
I can.
And also because I have to look at the models.
It's mainly the ridge. I think that's the Bermuda High, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Or
the Bermuda /
just about.
high.
Yeah.
Get my
It's pretty
500.
strong. It's pretty strong on most of the mile runs. It's keeping it down.
Really interesting. Let's go. So we're talking about like near the islands right now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about near the islands, why it's shifted south from that. And honestly, there really is no definitive answer here, I'd say. Now, yes, Farage definitely does have something to do with it. The most southern part of the model does bring the 591 all the way over to like the latitude of about Cape Cod. So
Yeah.
that's certainly a very good part of it, but the ridge has fairly, I'd say, it stayed somewhat the same. There is a tweet somewhere that probably could explain it better,
Okay.
I want to say. And I want to find it. Not going to try to take too much time here trying to find it.
Absolutely.
If I can't find it enough time, then you can guys just switch until
That's fine.
I find it.
Anyway,
actually.
be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. it looks like the stream's doing okay for right now, so we'll be fine. We'll be okay. I'm just not gonna touch anything for a little while, and things will be
I probably
dandy.
shouldn't.
What does liking the stream do? It helps push it to more people that might want to get people engaged with weather. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, okay, we're recovering pretty quickly, so no harm, no foul.
That's nice.
All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So, Yoshi, while you're looking for
So-
that, oh, did you find it?
No, but I do want to figure out everyone's answers.
Oh.
Because I'm genuinely curious too.
Alright, I can-
Why is this not designated an invest yet? I want to hear
Well,
everyone's answers for that because a
okay
lot
if
of
I-
people are wondering.
Is it
Yoshi,
okay if I go? Oh, what's up? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Delta.
sure.
I just think it's not an invest because it's still buried in the ITCZ. It's still buried into the intertropical convergence zone.
Yeah. All right.
Only
I'll answer
huge part
in a
of it,
second,
yeah.
but we got a $2 donation from Potato Head. Potato Head, thank you for everything you do. Hey, thanks for checking us out. We really appreciate you supporting us. We really do. But go ahead, guys, and then I'll give my answer if that's okay. All right.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and give my answer. Yeah, kind of what Delta's saying. It's still kind of buried in the ITCZ, but also there's not really that much convection, and the circulation is still relatively broad based on what I've seen. That's kind of my
Mhm.
what I'm seeing with this.
Interesting. I want to see the. Does anyone have a link to the latest ask out of it?
I'll see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
I know Charlie
Awesome.
gave you that. Did Charlie give you the link to that, Delta? I'm
A
sure he
while
did.
ago. Let me see if I can unbury it.
Yeah, if we could unbury that, that would
So
be.
it isn't a tweet, but I did find what I was looking for. Let's go to live stream stage here.
I'm already here.
Awesome. So we have two maps here,
Oh,
and
do you
this
want to
is
stream?
someone.
Do you want to stream on your thing?
No, it's supposed to be in via live stream chat.
It is. It's in there.
Let me look at it.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, brilliant.
It's two model runs. And before I say anything, this isn't by me. I'm not smart enough to do this. This is by someone named Virid Weather. So the first map is 12Z run on September 2nd. Yesterday's run, right? And see, it has a weaker long wave trough more towards the central United States. This
Alright.
allows the Bermuda High to steer it towards the northeast into Atlantic Canada and perhaps more as a recurve pattern. However, let's look at today's 12Z run. The long wave trough is 1, stronger, 2, further south, 3, much closer to the coast.
Oh.
So, this overpowers the subtropical ridge's steering influence over the system, which would primarily take it as a recurve pattern. And so, this would make it move more west-northwest towards the United States. Now, is it going to go towards the United States? Probably not, and there's multiple reasons for this. But it does show a slightly more concerning trend, especially for our Caribbean friends.
Yeah.
So that's part of a reason why we've been seeing the trends we've been seeing.
Yeah, that explains it.
I would say it's still a bit too early to say if the U.S. will get impacts or not.
Based on
I
that
still think it's
troughing
too
pattern,
early.
what I'm thinking with this is, it's basically, what I'm seeing with this is, it's kind of like a magnet, for the lack of a better term. Basically, it gets pulled, it's getting pulled, because the trough is digging down further in the U.S., it's getting pulled further to this, it's kind of getting pulled and staying further to the south, and putting more of the Antilles, especially, like, the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola in the line of fire. But as that trough starts to lift, it's going to potentially carry that storm with it and kind of start to curve it once it heads to that point. The question is, when will it do it at this point? When will it do it and how strong
So
will that
kind of
trough
like an
be?
Aaron. So
What-
kind of like what happened with Aaron.
Except much
got
further
pulled
to
by
the
a
south and
trough.
putting a lot more people in the line of fire.
Yes.
Pretty much. So
I still think it's a little too far out to see, but I think that's a very fair. Some fair data.
sure, absolutely.
Hmm.
Okay. So, all right. So, I hope that. All right. So, is there anything else, Yoshi, you wanted to go over?
Yeah, and it was a post by yet another friend. I'm gonna once again going to get it here.
Okay.
And it's I'd say very interesting. Let's see if I can get it. I'm gonna get it much quicker, luckily. There we go. Okay, so actually he said it right here, so I'm going to take this into live stream stage. It's in live stream stage now, but it's by one of my friends.
Okay.
Very smart guy. He's not been on here, but his posts have been.
Yeah.
And he says, quote, "A weaker tropical cyclone is shallower and steered primarily by the low-level trade winds, which typically flow westward and slightly equatorward towards the south or west. Stronger, deeper vortices extend higher into the atmosphere and are influenced by mid to upper level steering currents, which often favor more poleward track. Pretty much stronger storms love to go more north." Hold on. I got something.
Yeah.
Dude, are we serious? Don't do that. I know you're listening. Come on. Sorry, that was someone in another place who's
Okay.
watching.
Yeah. Dr.
Beta
Chapman with
shift
the
also-
$2 donation. Was and is Florida more in play here? Wave impacts. Too early to tell. Too early to tell.
Very early.
I'm not going to say
early.
anything. It's way too immature.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily
Yeah,
immature. It's
too
just
early.
too early. Anyway, thank you for the $2 donation. Really appreciate it. And welcome back.
Yeah.
Beta drift also plays a role in the sense that weaker systems experience stronger equatorward drift due to the asymmetry in planetary vorticity of action, while deeper cyclones' beta drift is balanced more by upper level flow, reducing the southward component. Beta drift, it's going to take a lot to explain beta drift, especially in something as quick as
Yeah.
I want this to be. But basically, what it is that certain parts of the Earth have more vorticity than other parts of the Earth. And in a cyclone, there is a gradient to that. And through certain processes, this moves it more to the northwest instead of more poleward. However, stronger systems don't have that force as much, mainly because it's getting counteracted by upper level steering currents.
Right.
The steering factors you have outlined here are not necessarily possible under forecasted steering conditions. This is someone pointing out that it was going towards Florida. This means, and all of this is still very, very relevant,
Of course.
is that with the forecast that we're seeing, that impacts along at least the southeast United States are going to be extremely hard to get. Especially with the steering patterns we had yesterday, and still with the steering patterns we are forecasting today. Now, sure, it takes it more south, but that doesn't mean that it's automatically just going to go to Florida now. There's a lot more processes that are going to handle this, and this is why I personally see a southeast United States landfall as very, very unlikely. Thank you.
All right.
Agreed.
Okay, so
Agreed.
looking at this, okay, the 18Z European ensembles are out. And the reason I'm looking at them is just to see what are we looking at compared to the 12Z right here. Okay, here's 12Z, here's 18Z. Okay. Looking at 12Z, I just want to double check. Okay, so at this current point, definitely more concentrated and considerably more concentrated further to the south. It eliminates some of the more extreme southward projections, like heading towards Barbados, compared to the 12Z, but they're considerably more concentrated towards heading towards the northern Windward Islands than the southern Leeward Islands. So that is not good at all. So we're definitely seeing that. In fact, we're seeing it pretty much universally right here. Because actually, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this just to show you guys this, show everyone in the audience this too, just to give you a better idea of just how much this has shifted. So here's what we have the 12Z at currently. This is, I believe, 144 hours. Here's 18Z. Yeah, it's
Wow.
more concentrated to the south. Yes, it eliminates some of the southern probabilities as well, but the bulk of it has shifted a bit to the south, it seems. And we'll need to watch that. Because before, on this trajectory, it was a little bit more all over the place, but it would likely crash somewhere in this part of the Leeward Islands right here, north of Guadalupe. 18Z, based on the trajectory, would likely crash it potentially into Guadalupe and Dominica at that current cluster. So that is interesting. In Weather Nerds, how do you zoom in? Basically, you select a location and you click zoom in on the top of the screen. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on what I just showed?
Sounds to me like a con.
No, I was just saying it was interesting. You go on.
Oh,
Go ahead, LTW.
sounds like it sounds like what happened with Maria and or Irma 2017. It
Right.
went pretty south and then it kind of shifted and then kind of like slowly went north.
Guys, look in live no mic real quick.
That's the ASCAT data. I just took a look at it, I think. Oh,
No, I posted something else.
the 12Z versus 18Z. Yeah, we're looking at that right now,
Yeah,
Yoshi, actually.
We got full images of it, and it's my opinion on this, right?
Sure.
From 12Z to 18Z, it's a concerning trend. It's showing much more bunching towards a direction that would go towards the Leeward Islands, the Lesser Antilles, and perhaps even Puerto Rico. So, I personally don't like this a lot. It's showing much more certainty towards land.
Yeah.
And usually with these waves that have large troughs and a big recurve pattern, I usually would say, especially after Aaron, that we probably won't see much of a problem from them.
Okay.
But I'm going to get out of that mindset here because very clearly we do have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, it's very unlikely to be a very strong system once it goes towards the Leeward Islands. And if it is, then it would miss the Leeward Islands entirely. But I would say that we might get a good flooding threat out of this if something like this were to go up, especially because a lot of these places are, one, very flood prone, and two, have already been devastated by floods. Take Puerto Rico as an example.
All right.
They're still trying to recover from Maria, and then they had an absolute ton of hurricanes go after them.
Yeah, Fiona
I
in
think
2022. Yep.
Laura went through it. Isaias, I believe.
Yes.
That's just 2020.
I thought it was the Dominican Republic. I mean,
Dominican Republic is also very flood prone, yeah, but I don't think it's
Absolutely.
going to hit them. But if it does, then that's going to be a problem because they have a lot of mountainous regions, which means a lot of landslides could happen.
All right.
That is
Mhm.
true.
So, okay. So that's happening. My question to you, Yoshi, is what I'm leaning more so towards based on this is I know you say this could potentially be more of a weaker system. My question for you is what if we see a scenario, and just playing with this right here, where we see a scenario where by the time we get to like I think 55 degrees north, the OHC jumps up from like 75 to 125, and you don't have much shear around that. My question to you, Yoshi, is if it starts rapidly intensifying right then and there, will it have enough time to curve away from the Antilles? Because that's a real potential, that's a real concern that I have with this, given the conditions it has ahead of it.
I personally don't want to entertain this idea too much,
Okay.
and there's a reason behind it. Because we have no real evidence to suggest something like that. But if that were to happen, which again, as you say, it very well could, and looking at the conditions, it could, right?
Right.
But at 55 West, it probably wouldn't have enough time to go before 60 West to curve to a point where the Leeward Islands wouldn't have more impacts than they are already projected to have.
Okay.
But again, I'm not saying, none of us are saying that something like this is going to happen. It's very unlikely. We have no meteorological evidence other than current conditions to see why something like that would happen.
Okay.
Someone wants to speak. Some guy named Sky Tower.
What's?
Should we let him on?
Oh, that's Trevor. That's Trevor. I'll see if you'd like to come on. Trevor, you are on the air.
I got one question for you, Pat.
Yes, sir.
Why are you comparing this to past events?
Why am I comparing this to past events? Because that's the data we have. That's because that's the data we have with it. That's like the analogs, the data. That's the kind of chart we have to look at those charts. That's why.
But weren't we told not to compare them?
I'm gonna put my 2 cents in here, Pat.
Go ahead.
And you're not gonna like the answer I'll have because it is kind of going against you here. What I believe, at least in public communication, is that you should only compare a storm to the bigger systems if there is an absolute known and immediate threat. Let's take example Katrina. That was compared a lot to what was the 1969 hurricane? I forgot its
Camille.
name.
Camille.
And Ian was often compared to Charlie, not just because of its track, but also because of how dangerous Charlie was.
Okay.
And you need to tell people, hey, it's going to be similar to this storm. But with these weaker systems, you don't need to do that. And in this case, in most cases, similar to this, actually, it would be harmful because people would think, oh, it's going to be similar to this extremely dangerous storm, even though it won't. But I'm just putting my 2 cents in there. I'm not going to say it's immature to do something like that, but it certainly isn't smart in the public communication sense.
Okay, I see where you're coming from with that, and I'll definitely need to. I'll definitely tone down with that. But here's why I do that, because mainly the reason I do that is because because what I look for is, okay, what kind of analogs do we have that kind of supports this kind of environment, and that's why I do it. That's generally why I'm not. If I'm trying to make that comparison to something a lot scarier, I'm not trying to do that. What I'm just doing is looking at at the analogs as to what the conditions were like, given past scenarios, and going, okay, what kind of conditions are we looking at here, and what could we reasonably say? What could we reasonably say and give a reasonable analog to this? That's all I'm trying to do. Should I maybe keep it private? Well, go ahead.
I was just a little bit curious of why we're having this comparison.
I wasn't
I
trying
mean, it
to
makes more sense.
inherently.
It makes more sense to the database,
Sure.
but maybe will make more people scared, just depending on what the strength is.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. I'll give you that, but I just use that to look at, okay, because the data we have modeling and all of that stuff for the future, but also it's important, equally in my opinion, to look at some other scenarios we've had. It can be something small, like for example, Tropical Storm Erica back in 2015. That could be an example where that just got shredded by the Dominican Republic. Or it could be something a little bit larger than that. that's kind of how I play with this right here. What does this compare to in the past, given the current conditions we have? That's where I'm at with this.
That makes more sense now.
Okay, now that I've clarified that, does that help?
Yeah.
All right.
I see where Pat's coming from, but I'm gonna stick to my guns here with the public communications
Sure.
side of things, at least.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can definitely lean on that. I can definitely lean on that for sure. But that's kind of where I've come from with this. It's not inherently from I'm trying to scare people. It's just I look at the data and go, okay, how can we gauge this kind of thing? So that's where I stand with this. I'll be more careful with it, but that's why I do it.
Okay.
Can I
That's all I
put
had.
my 2 cents in?
Yes, go ahead.
I think we definitely we absolutely have to follow the analogs, but I think we need to come to terms if it's too early to make to make this storm look like
I'll concede.
like one of the analogs.
That I'll concede.
I say right now, with it being an open wave, we could just say something like it has a path that is concerning and it's similar to other storms that have hit this area,
All right.
regardless of what intensity they are.
Oh, 100%.
But once we start getting the hurricane hunters, it's an invest. We start getting hurricane models, then we could be like, okay, this is starting to look something similar to so and so.
Okay. There we go. All right. Well, that's been the most respectful debate I've ever had on Discord. And that's not saying much. Okay. All right. So, all right, Trevor's gone. Okay, so with that being said, okay. Okay, with that being said, where were we at? Okay, where were we at before before Trevor came in here? I know we were talking about
We were talking about the model trends.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Let's keep doing that. Right here. So, that's kind of your situation that we're looking at. One thing I would say though is, regardless of what happens, it's still a concerning trend. I think there's no argument from anyone here, right?
Yeah,
Argument.
Okay.
no argument.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Apparently, the 18Z Euros coming out. Let me see if it's okay. It's out on Tropical Tidbits. I want to take a quick look at this, and just for my information, look at this compared to. Okay, this is interesting.
It's pretty south.
I'm gonna zoom in on this real quickly. Just for
Wow.
Okay, this is not optimal. It's not further to the south, actually. It's a little further to the south, but it's mainly further to the west. So
Yeah.
that's picking up in speed right there.
But that kind of puts kind of Barbados looks like potentially in the line of fire.
Yeah, is a weaker system generally, yes, but that puts Barbados in the line of fire. And just for my curiosity, what is the wind shear looking like? Okay, there's some wind shear to the north of it right here, but part of it is the storm structure generating upper level winds. What's the dry air looking like?
Yeah.
Mixable dry air. That's mixable dry air that we're dealing with right here. So, given the circumstances, where's the current location? 13.5, 56. Water temperatures at around that area. 29 degrees Celsius. Ocean heat content about 120. I think about 125.
That's pretty big.
That's a little concerning.
Yeah.
With the wind shear further to the north. Matter of fact, I want to see the wind shear trend very quickly. What's the wind shear compared to the 12Z? 12Z. Okay, 18Z is a little stronger, but further to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat, there is a trend right now. Where is it shifting more towards the southwestern direction? Most likely, yeah. Most likely, yes. It's trending in... Another thing we need to watch, too, is it's trending in better conditions as well. That's another red flag I have with this. Yeah, that's why the NHC has been jumping the gun. They're confident something's going to happen. But the question
I wouldn't be
is,
surprised if they push the cone a little bit more to the south.
and a little bit further to the west too, to take into account some of that
Yeah.
speed. Okay.
Maybe 35 west at least.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. So people in chat are asking about the icon. I don't like using that generally, other than, oh, what's this happening? Because I don't think the NHC even uses it right here. The icon wants a category high at Cat 1 at 5 days out. No. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I will say, though, just to entertain my fancy, it does shift a bit further to the west and slightly to the south, but intensity I do not like at all. That's just my take on it. So, but ultimately, the main question is, what's the GFS going to do at 0Z? That's my main.
Yeah, that is the main.
That's my main question, because if it caves to the European, I mean, it's already been caving all day to the European, closer to that. We got a problem. Now, the intensity of it we can debate. I generally don't like how quickly it intensifies right here. Once as a Category 3 north of the Leeward Islands, similar to Aaron. No, I don't see a scenario like that this time. But we'll have to see.
If it does happen, then I'll be shocked.
If that happens, and it happens at the right time, I do not want to think what could happen.
Yeah.
Just my main concern isn't is it going to be a major system. My main concern is it going to, not the main system, is it just going to intensify? My main concern is it going to intensify at the worst possible time? That's kind of the thing. The longer this takes to organize, the longer it takes to develop, the longer it takes to get designated and invest, in my opinion, the more at threat people are going to be at with this. Because it may not seem like that much right now, but it's a scary AOI. Remember how I was saying, Aaron, may not seem like much, 45 miles per hour may not seem like much, but it's a scary 45 miles per hour? This is giving me similar vibes to this.
And look what Aaron did.
Well, yeah, Aaron definitely did that, but we can't compare this to Aaron because this is it's way further to the south than what we saw previously.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
I do want to say something.
Go for it.
I believe, I don't want to say I don't care about the wind speed. I do care. It's just that I care a lot more about the position.
Absolutely. 1000%. But go ahead. Did you have more to add?
No, I was just saying, I just don't, I just think that, also, what's the upper level low? Do you think that could influence
the upper level low?
The storm?
Where's that at?
Right.
This?
Like on, here. Yeah, it shows like a little. Yeah. Do you think the tut could influence the storm?
The tut?
Or do you think it could just...
Where would that be?
Direct about...
Let me see this.
Go back to the water vapor.
Yes, sir.
It's about 55 west, 25 north.
Okay.
You see where that big blow up is?
Yeah, I see where that is. I'm gonna look at the modeling just to check and see how that pans out. This system might be going too far south for it to do much. Maybe slow down the maybe slow down the organization a little bit, but that's about it. Anyway, we got 300 people in the stream. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather, so that would be much appreciated. Anyway, yeah. To the question about your tut, I think this might be too far south for it to do much. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Is it possible? Yes.
Yeah.
But
I was just
go ahead.
gone.
No, I was.
I was just thinking. That because it was such a disorganized thunderstorm, the upper level low could take advantage of it and then just slingshot north, or just completely fizzle.
Because
the
this is
storm.
because this is in the upper levels, and this system isn't really anything much around more than the low to mid levels. I don't think it'll have that much of an effect on it. Because it's
okay.
because it's being steered by the lower level trade winds. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah. Okay. Seminar in one of our members said something that I do think is kind of funny. It's gonna shift to the equator in the next run. Watch. If it does that, we get no tropical cyclone because there's no Coriolis over there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, it's not going that far to the south. If it were, that would be good news. But unfortunately, we have nothing. We don't really have good news tonight other than just, it's far away. So, yep. Yeah.
I kind of want to send something in chat.
Go for it.
I did mention this earlier. Live note. Oh wait, I can't really.
Do you have access to live note?
Do it. Can I? Yeah, I do. But am I able to screen share it, because I can't really send it in because of this Discord file thing?
Oh, go for it. Go ahead and go ahead. There you go.
Okay, let me go to live no mic. Let me just go to hold on.
All right, take your time.
Give me a sec.
Also, for those who want some more behind-the-scenes fun and would like to kind of hang out with us, feel free to join the Storms United Discord server. The link to that is in the pinned chat right here. We'd be happy to have you come on, ask us some questions, and just have a little bit of fun with us as we look at this area of interest and other threats. Saved by Grace with a $2 donation. Which is more accurate, the 0, 6, 12, or 18Z? Are you in general or in this case? In this case, we don't know. In general, it's the 0 and 12Z that we pay the most attention to because that ingests the most observation data. So that's what we got.
Okay, Pat, I got up.
Right, let me go ahead.
By the way, don't mind the blue dot.
All right, let me go ahead. Oh, that's your scenarios right there. Let's go ahead and show those. All right,
yeah.
I'll go ahead and pop this right here. All right, let me go ahead and zoom. Let me go ahead and zoom this, and let's go ahead and pop this up.
Yes. So
go for it.
These are my 4 scenarios. The scenario 1, it goes straight through barreling towards the Lesser Antilles and the Windward Islands, goes into the Caribbean, gathers all that great OHC around Cuba, Honduras, Jamaica, the Yucatan, Belize, and maybe just intensifies really fast, and then goes into the Gulf of Mexico.
The only way that I could see one happening is if it stays an open wave through the Lesser Antilles.
Yeah.
And is caught in the trade flow.
number 2, it kind of does like a an Irma or an Aaron. It rides just north of the Greater Antilles, which are these Cuba, and goes in between the Bahamas and Cuba and Florida and
All right.
all that. But once again, it's way too far out. I'm just giving these scenarios, and could impact anywhere along here.
The,
3, it kind of just. Sorry, go.
Go ahead,
Go
Delta.
on.
the number 2 would be a scenario if it gets south and west enough that it gets buried in the Greater Antilles, and then it degenerates into an open wave. That's the only way I see 2. I would say 3.
3,
As-
Yeah.
I get cooked in scenario 3.
But scenario 3, it avoids the Lesser Antilles. Like you see, it kind of follows the cone of where it's projected to go. And it completely avoids the Lesser Antilles. It stays away from the Bahamas. But it could make an impact on the eastern U.S. Just a reminder, I know this is far out. This is just me just saying things.
All right.
Don't
Please,
quote me on this.
Pat, please let me play this game.
Number 4, I don't really see this happening. Not even close.
No.
The only thing that I would say that could happen if there's like a sudden decrease in the ridge and something just pulls it out, but this is not gonna happen, unfortunately. So I'm giving 1 and 2 like maybe a 25% chance, a 3 like a 15% chance, and a 4 maybe like a 0.5% chance.
All right. Is it okay if I give my opinion on this? Because you did a lot of great work on this, and I really like your scenarios, but is it okay if I give an opinion on the potential track based on those scenarios? I think initially 1 is going to be more likely until it gets to the Caribbean, and then at that point it's going to likely get it. Unless this system remains an open wave, it's going to get yanked up either towards Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. If it gets towards Haiti, that would be even worse for obvious reasons. They're the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. It's usually either them or Venezuela. It's one of those two. But ultimately, I think it's going to be 1 initially is the more likely scenario, but then it's going to get yanked up to the north towards maybe a 3 or a 4, if that makes sense.
I agree with that. That's what I'm going with. It's somewhere between 1 and 2 when you hit the Lesser Antilles, and then it's gonna jump north to a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is also me being generous with this storm. Of course,
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to share.
That's fine. We really appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of the audience does appreciate it as well. So
Really enjoy it.
Let me go ahead and share my screen back. But anyway, that's the general gist of this. Now, go ahead.
I said I enjoyed that a lot. I do want to play the game, though. I think it's going to be somewhere in between. Somewhere, I think Florida's still on the table, and I think up to North Carolina. And I definitely think turning out to sea is still on the table.
I'm still waiting for more information.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for more information.
Agreed, 100% with that.
I still think turning out to sea is still on the table.
Oh, everything's on the table at this point, but I think what we can establish at this point is the Lesser Antilles are most likely going to get something out of this. Whether it's rain, whether it's a tropical storm, whether it's something even worse, they're going to get something out of this. Everything else is up on the air based on what I'm seeing with these trends. So that's my deal with this right here.
But I love watching streams where people put in hypothetical paths. I find that highly entertaining. I know sometimes people that go to school for this hate when people do that, but I find it highly entertaining. And I know a lot of people watching enjoy those
Yeah.
hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree.
Yeah, I will say I have no problem with it inherently as long as they're realistic. And all of LTW scenarios are realistic, in my opinion, just given on
Yes.
certain scenarios. So I don't really
Yeah.
have that much of an issue with it inherently. And I went to school for meteorology, so maybe I'm the outlier with this, but at the same time, I'm the only one
Yeah.
in my class that started a YouTube channel. So there's that at least. So anyway, I don't, like I said, I don't really have a problem with it as long as it's realistic. If it's like what we were doing on Saturday, where we were just throwing out hot takes, that's when I have a problem with it. But just
Yeah.
this kind of stuff, I don't have
Oh,
an
we were
issue
having,
with it.
we were having fun. Surely no one thought that hurricane's going to step into a spacesuit and hit Jupiter. No one really thought that was going to
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So there's what we got. So okay, so that's your situation.
To
Oh, go ahead, LTW.
to Kent, I do agree with you. I do think that I like hypotheticals when like talking to like professionals, like professional, like either chasers or people who know more. But I do believe that it is also can be really important because it could also create scenarios like what I just put out, and that could really set a precedence of what can happen or what will happen
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delta, I saw what
And
you sent. Oh, sorry, Kat. Go ahead. My bad.
For me, when you guess where a hurricane's going to go and you get it right, that just feels so good.
It feels,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it feels good for the forecast, but just, sometimes sometimes your gut churns, especially if it heads towards a very populated area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be wrong with the weather. Well, not don't take that out of context, but like I'm just saying, like if like for tropical weather, you kind of want to be a little bit off, like you not lie, but like say that, oh God, if this goes here, oh please don't.
Yeah,
Then what is
exactly.
I
wrong?
hope.
What is wrong is when you say your opinion as if it is fact. There's something wrong with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, Delta, I saw what you sent on Live No Mic. Yeah. I saw your track with it right here, kind of having it head towards the Antilles and then moving east to Puerto Rico. That's definitely a somewhat realistic scenario at this current point. We'll just have to watch and see what happens, but I'm just a lot's been going on, and I'm not really I'm really worried about this going forward. Oh man, I hopefully
Can I
Weather
read
King
the
comes on
comment?
here soon because I'd love to hear his take. So
We use hypothetical scenarios in all types of emergency management. It's how we train. We even have a hypothetical mandate. I lost the comment. It went off my screen, but I thought it was a very good comment.
that's Greg. Yeah, I got. Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a hypothetical mandatory evacuation scenario. Yeah, Greg. Shout out to him for being here tonight. So
Nice.
A lot of people in the chat are saying they love hypotheticals.
yeah, they're good. I'm fine with hypotheticals personally. As long as they're realistic, I don't have a problem with it. I know I know some other people do,
Same.
but sometimes you have to talk about it. So that's just my take on it. Anyway, that's what we're looking at right here. I'm curious to see what the 0Z data brings in going forward, but that's going to be that's not going to happen till later. I know the icon is kind of the first indicator as to what the 0Z data is going to be with this. It doesn't help that this isn't an invest yet, too, because at least we have some sort of hurricane models to at least look at the guidance with. At least we have that.
Pat, roughly what time are you going off the air?
I'm staying on here for another, for likely another hour. That's what I'm.
What time is it?
That would be 11 Eastern.
Okay, then I don't feel bad about saying this. Weather Kingdom is going on the air.
Oh,
He said
absolutely.
at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Weather Kingdom on. What I want to do is I want to get all our viewers to his stream, so that way he has a much bigger audience. So that way we can keep the coverage going. I won't personally be here, but I know a lot of these guys will. So there's that.
But he doesn't put us on the air, but we'll be in his chat.
Absolutely. Okay, all right. Yeah, Lava Command. It's not an invest because the vortex isn't formed due to it being stretched out by the monsoon trough. Will make it harder. That's what I was saying. That's what I've been saying.
But I've been thinking it's going to be an invest probably by tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Friday, that's generally what I'm thinking. If it's any later than that, I don't...
That could be really bad.
That could...
If it's much later.
Yeah, a later development time not only would give it, get it closer to land before developing and push the models even further to the south, it would also give people less time to prepare, because if it's just an area of interest, people are going to think, why the hell should we care about it? Instead of,
that's the...
Oh, can I continue?
Yes.
All right. And instead of going, we need to watch out for this, because what a lot of people don't understand is when we look at scenarios like that and we see the conditions ahead of it, that should be raising major alarm bells, because ultimately that's less time to prepare. And we all saw what happened with Beryl. It went from an area of interest to a tropical depression to a tropical storm, and it just kept escalating throughout this time. And
yes,
and no, again, we're not trying to compare to past events or anything like that, but I'm bringing this example up in terms of time of preparation, because the original thought was okay, we don't need to prepare for much. Then you had to, but with this scenario right here, again, not saying it's going to pull anything like that. I really hope it doesn't, and I don't think it will. But even a strong tropical storm could cause some problems, especially with the flash flooding and the impacts. My main concern is not the development, organization, or intensity of this. My main concern is the impacts it will bring, because of the time it will take to develop and the less time we have for preparation. That's my concern with this. A hurricane that develops 2 days out will have far less preparation time for a hurricane that develops 3 days out. And that only gets exacerbated 4, 5, 6 days out.
Yes. I do also want to add on to you, Pat, once again, using Beryl as like an example, people thought, it's just an invest. Why do I have to prepare? The next thing they know, they have to prepare for a Category 4 hurricane.
Yeah. Again, we don't like seeing those scenarios, but still, it happens.
You should, if you're in the cone of the AOI, you should start preparing. You should have already been prepared since May. As you've been saying,
one's in the cone just yet, but I know earlier tonight a lot of the Antilles were. So
yeah, but even so, you should really keep an eye on it. Don't gloss over it.
No.
That'll be really bad.
Yeah.
But
can I
Weather Kingdom, what's okay? We have confirmation. Weather Kingdom will be on pretty shortly.
That's good.
Cool.
because I really want to get his intake on this because he's been on this since this afternoon. I was okay, so I can confirm Weather Kingdom will be on very shortly. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. So, all right, okay, I did bump up the bit rate a little bit, guys. So hopefully that hopefully that is hopefully that helps. So yeah. All right. So ultimately, that's just our main concerns with this. Just for curiosity, I didn't check the CMC yet. What did the CMC do with its shift on it? Let's take a look here. 0Z had it going out to C and staying pretty weak. 12Z. Okay, this is interesting. Here's 0Z. 12Z actually still has this. Okay, 12Z has it a little stronger, but further, yeah, slightly further to the south. So just a slight shift, but maybe moving a little closer to land, but that's about it. Canadian's been kind of, the outlier in all of this. What's the EC fast? The EC fast is not even close to being out yet. The AI model, nothing is good with this. It's not initializing well at all, and the icon's too aggressive. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Could we? I know we're talking about this AOI, but do you want to also mention about threats for Lorena
Oh yeah, absolutely.
in the Eastern Pacific?
Yeah, well, until Weather Kingdom gets here, let's talk a little bit about the Reina. There are tropical storm warnings in effect for parts of Baja California. Right here, it's expected to make landfall, I believe, as a strong tropical storm. Looking at the discussion, yeah, 65 mile per hour tropical storm at the time, most likely at landfall, 60 to 65. Tropical storm watches are in effect for parts of Baja California on the eastern side in the Gulf of California, and then it becomes a remnant low as it makes landfall again on the main part of Mexico. I'm not okay, and then rainfall potential. I think the main threat's going to be flash flooding for Lorena from this. That's my take on this. In terms of flash flooding, yeah, this could cause some monsoon problems for a lot of you guys in Arizona, New Mexico, California, Nevada. So you're going to want to watch out for that because you are looking at potentially 2 to 4 inches of rain in southern Arizona. So that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Weather Kingdom's in the audience.
Oh, the man himself. Oh, the man himself. I kicked him out by accident. Weather Kingdom, you are on the air.
What is
Hello.
My man.
What up, Weather?
My man. We've been talking about this. What's your thoughts on this AOI?
To be honest with you, my thoughts is honestly speechless today.
Same here.
I was not expecting this much of a change from last night. I knew there was a southern jog, but like we said, Pat, this is already a new ball game.
Yep.
And to be honest, it's not good at all, especially for the Lesser Antilles. Could be some impacts. I have been looking at the models, and I don't want to get past 5 days because, as some people have seen with the future models, it gets alarmingly close to the Bahamas and the southern parts of the United States, but that's very far out in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of taking it day by day. But from last night, you guys, to tonight, it's a whole new ball game, an entire new ball game, and it's very surprising to me. I wasn't expecting to see such a big shift like this.
Yeah, for sure. I've been watching it too, and based on what I've seen is basically part of the reason for there's multiple reasons for this too, and we've been able to kind of gauge as to what's going on. So
Okay.
part of the reason is because it's just the model's trying to catch up to this southward kind of a jog that not really this AOI is taking, but has continued to kind of move south of the models. But part of it also is because, this is just an AOI and the system is still very broad as well. You are
Yes.
seeing an increase of convection as well. I will say that too. You're seeing a slight increase of it, but that's because it's nighttime. So we'll have to watch out for it. It's still attached to the ITCZ. Once it detaches and develops a low-level circulation, we'll have more of an idea of what's going on with that. So basically, but part of it also, too, is because we have this ridge over here in parts of the Atlantic. What were we at 12Z? The ridge has shifted a bit further to the south and is stronger on the European as well. That's another reason. But the final reason is something we just discovered tonight. There's actually a trough that's digging down in the eastern half of the United States that's pulling this more so to the west and then eventually to the west-northwest after it impacts the Antilles. So that's all why this is a new ball game. And for those in chat who are wondering what the hell that term means, essentially, let's say, just for an example right here, baseball example, you're up 6-0. Your opponent is up 6-0. You start chipping away at that lead. They get an insurance run, and you tie the game in the top of the ninth. That's what a new ball game pretty much means. And in terms of weather, when you see original runs going out to sea, but these shifts continuing further and further to the south, to the point where it now impacts land, that's a new ball game. So that I hope that explains it a little bit. So that's where we're at.
I think that was a great example, in my opinion.
Yep, exactly.
That
So
was.
hopefully that helps for those in chat wondering what the hell we're talking about. So if that helped, let us know. One in the chat if it helped. If it didn't, you're not a baseball fan. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we'll have to
Pat, when we talk
Go ahead.
when we talk about East Coast, one of the things I wonder, and the Lesser Antilles, one of the things I wonder is how many of your viewers are from these locations. Is there any way you can look at the analytics and tell that?
The only analytics I get are from the United States.
There is I think there is actually quite a few that is from Puerto Rico, because I know for sure
we've been watching the chat all night.
Yeah, I know, like, when you look at the chat, there's some people that, like, commented on my own live streams that they were in the West Antilles and Puerto Rico. So you probably definitely do have people.
Tobago.
They're not as much as the United States, but there's definitely a few out there.
Oh, absolutely. There's quite a few of them. So, yeah. Yes. Someone apparently is from Cuba, which is pretty interesting. Florida, Puerto Rico. I think our main... okay, watching from Florida. Seminars from the West Coast. New ball game could be watching for Jamaica and Honduras. No, that's too far, I would say. Puerto Rico, Mid-Atlantic, Southwest Florida. Yeah, a lot of these people... Yeah, South Carolina. Some of them from the East. It's really kind of a diverse crowd, actually. So
I was assuming that most of your audience is up and down the East Coast.
It's a lot of the people are from Florida, but we also get a lot of people from Jamaica, the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. A lot of them. So
Yeah, I'm from South Florida.
Yeah. Dark Steve is watching from Pennsylvania. Awesome. Beans is from Georgia.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm currently in Central Florida.
Yep.
Hey, Delta, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Where have you been, man?
Life.
Busy.
Sucks.
Okay.
Hey, Weather Kingdom.
Yeah.
By the way, I am gonna send. I already showed you guys this, but I'm just showing Weather Kingdom in VC live no mic.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to screen share. I'm just gonna
Oh,
just gonna.
there you go.
This is what I did. I did
Oh.
mention this earlier. I just want to see your thoughts on it.
I'm looking at it right now. That's your track. Hmm. It's not totally. I mean, I don't think it'll go that far west into the Gulf, but I think
Right.
green is very likely, blue, and even red. But I would say it probably curves.
Alex, can you say that?
Eventually, what I think the setup is here, you guys. This is if this keeps trending west, I think this will hit the Western Antilles. But I do think this will eventually start getting that northern movement, and then I could see a curve. I wouldn't even be surprised this is one of those systems that curve up the East Coast. It's kind of in that setup that it could, but also I wouldn't be surprised if trends keep changing. You know, maybe tomorrow, then we're talking about chances in the Gulf. I doubt it, but I would say generally right now, on with everything I'm seeing, this will eventually curve up. It's just right now it's hitting that westward movement. But I do think the west, like it's like a kind of more of a westward move. It's like a Aaron, but much more west, in my opinion. That's how I think it's going to be the setup. It's going to be like an Aaron, but it's going to be a lot more closer to the United States potentially.
Hmm.
We'll have to wait and see in the future. But I think right now for the Western Antilles, if you guys watch from Aaron, we had a lot of flooding impacts and even some gusty winds. I think I would not be surprised for a direct hit in some
Who
of
was
these islands, and including Puerto Rico.
What
With
Was
Yeah.
it you that were watching those webcams with?
No, it was not me.
Yeah, there
Okay,
were.
so
I was watching.
hold on a second. I'm looking at this. Apparently, Delta, you sent the ASCAT, right? I just need to ask because someone is in chat talking about this AOI having an LLC. I'm looking at the ASCAT data.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it has.
It's a broad area.
It has 30 knot winds, but it's so broad right now. It's so broad right now. It needs to tighten up considerably for that to happen. So there's that.
Uh-huh.
It's too buried in the ITCZ right now.
Yeah, it's
Too.
Yeah, so that's going to take a little bit to get out of the ITC and transition more into its own environment.
Yep.
Hey, Weather Kingdom.
Yeah.
I would like your honest opinion. When do you think, with how aggressive the NHC is being with their forecasts, with development, when do you think we would see an invest tag on our little red friend right here?
I think we'll see an invest in the next day or so. I mean, I would be surprised, to be honest with you, if tomorrow night we still have no invest. I think in the next day, at max 2 days, that's my opinion into an invest. And then once as you guys know in the audience, when you have an invest, it helps to better the models. It gives more data. And as the storm develops with the low level center and everything, we can finally pinpoint the exact low pressure with latitude and longitude. That gets put into the computer data.
Yeah.
And then the models, especially the 0Zs and the 12Zs, help with all new fresh data. And that's a major help. So once we get an invest, that will help us to figure out what will happen down the road with our lovely AOI and the MDR.
1,000.
When we get an invest, did models start working on once it gets the invest?
What did you say?
Don't the hurricane models start giving data once it gets an invest?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
After a few hours, because I've seen some investors where the hurricane models didn't start for that exact day, and then the next day it did. I think, the hurricane models usually do start though when
For
an
sure.
invest
All right.
comes out.
Okay.
By the way, Weather Kingdom.
Yes.
By the way, just to sum up what I just create like some hypothetical scenarios that could happen in the future with the system. That's
Uh-huh.
kind of like what my gist was. It wasn't necessarily to point out this is gonna go there,
Yeah.
this is gonna go there. I'm just saying that it could go there. It could go anywhere. Everywhere's on the table.
I have a good question for you guys.
Go for it.
What's your thoughts on, because there's been a lot of talk on another wave behind this one, also something with the CAG in the Central, in the Gulf and the Caribbean later this
Oh.
month. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Let me see. Is there much model data backing up a gyre situation?
There has been signs of it. I haven't looked at the latest Euro ensembles, but even the GEFS, the ensembles
Oh.
are picking it up more and more.
Okay,
I have noticed.
Let me take a quick look at that very quickly, because I do think that the gyre is going to start getting more active, especially if the MJO kicks in full gear. Looking at the 12s,
Especially
18CG. I'll just go to the full hour.
240, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's GFS 18Z is picking up on that quite nicely. Yeah, I could definitely see something a little bit interesting happening over there. But we'll have to wait and see. CPC is usually the first indicator. We'll see what happens there. Oh, by the way, one more thing.
Oh my goodness. The 18Z has drifted south with the European ensemble.
Oh, yeah, it has. And one more thing as well. Get this man to 700 subs tonight. Get Weather Kingdom up to 700 subs. He's one away. Go subscribe to him right now. He's going to be streaming right after we're done here. Go subscribe to him right now. Because he's going to be streaming as soon as we're done.
Nice.
So
it's gonna.
You just got the Weather Kingdom just blasted through it.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job.
All right. In all seriousness, though, back to the stream. Weather Kingdom to at least 100K subs tonight. That would be awesome if we did that. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey Pat.
Yes. What we got?
Can we talk about Kiko?
Oh yeah. I got it pulled up right here. We don't have any advisories out yet, but since we've covered a lot, let's briefly talk about Kiko. Yeah, it's a Cat 4 hurricane. And okay. Yeah, it's a Cat 4 hurricane. 130 right now. We'll see what the latest advisory goes for.
Oh, it is. Wow.
Yeah. This is gonna head towards Hawaii. Go ahead, LTW.
It's according. I'm looking at IR right now. A, the eye is contracting, or B, it's potentially doing an EWRC or an eye replacement cycle. I can't tell.
It looks a lot more ragged than it did before. I think it's peaking.
Yeah, let me see if I can find microwave on it.
I tried to find microwave on RAM B, but it's cut off by like this black strip.
Yeah, I think I think Kaiko's peaking a little bit right now. That's what I'm thinking. Kiko, yeah.
It did look like it was a pretty good looking storm, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
It was. It was also pretty good looking for 2. Like they kept it at 2 for Yeah.
Also, everybody, please go like and subscribe to Pat. Let's get him to 14K tonight. Let's do it.
If we could do that, that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That would.
Do that.
You deserve it.
Yeah, but ultimately, that's the situation that we have. So that's Kiko. this is going to potentially impact Hawaii, but as a tropical storm, based on what I've seen from the latest inputs right here. Regardless, if it gets anywhere close to Hawaii, that will be very concerning because they are not used to these kind of impacts. So that's something to pay attention to. So there's that. Anyway, but yeah, is LTW? Is there anything? Oh, hold up. Weather Kingdom sent something. Okay.
That's yeah.
All right, that's fine. LTW, is there anything else you wanted to go over with Kiko? Because I know this is heading towards Hawaii. This is intensive. This is kind of peaking in intensity right now. What else did you want to talk about?
I just wanna. I also kind of wanna. Do you want to talk about travel storm Peppa near Japan?
I'm not.
Have we
That's a
talked?
pretty.
I'm not
That's
sure.
a pretty good threat.
Yeah.
I have a question. Have we talked about the storm that's going to be hitting the Baja of California?
Oh yeah, we touched on that quite a
Yeah,
bit
we did.
actually. Yeah, that's.
How is that looking? I haven't looked
It's a
in the last
hurricane
few
right
hours.
now, but it's going to weaken into strong tropical storm strength and make a landfall over there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Have you guys looked at all and everything
All right.
for it?
Okay. Someone in chat said I donated $300 in one streaming night for Aaron. Should I donate again or subscribe? Your choice, buddy. Your choice.
Your choice. Do what you want.
Your choice. Anyway, that's besides the point. Strong tropical storm expected at landfall. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for parts of the Baja California. So we'll have to see what happens. With that, I want to look at the discussion very quickly. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it still could intensify. Potentially according to this. Track guidance hasn't changed that much. You're going to look at cooler water temperatures and then some shear starting to pick up on that. So we'll have to see what happens.
That's why you kind of see like a slow decrease.
Yeah.
After peaking for Kiko. Like if you look at the cone, you could see it kind of goes from major to hurricane. In like maybe a span of like 24 hours, maybe.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
36.
That's going to be moving into some shear and some cooler waters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Microwave on Lorena is actually pretty impressive.
What's up?
The microwave imagery on Hurricane Lorena is actually pretty impressive.
Intriguing.
Oh, kind of take a look at that.
Okay, so all right, we have a couple questions actually. Hey Pat, can you see the EPS ensembles? We already talked about them earlier tonight, but now since we're kind of on the subject of that right here, I know we're talking a little. We're kind of splitting our time a little bit more, but let's go ahead and go to the 12Z. Here's what we were at 12Z. Let's zoom in once again for our audience. And here's what we have at 18Z. Here is 12Z right here. 18Z, your ensembles shift further to the south and they're more concentrated in that area. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Okay, the EPS ensembles on tropical tidbits. I know I'm not a huge fan of these, but let's do it. Okay, let's look at the ensembles. Things are going interesting. Yeah. Quite the situation that we have for you right here as well. So looking at those ensembles, 12Z ensembles as well, they're more spread out, I will say, but we'll have to pay attention to that as well. What else did we have? Pat, do you have your own scenarios for this possible storm? Here's what I'm thinking is going to happen right here. Here's what I'm thinking right here. I don't have my own scenarios drawn out, so I know people are going to boo at me and all of that stuff, but I don't have my own scenarios drawn out like LTW does. But here's what I'm thinking, at least in the general terms right here. I'm generally thinking it's going to move towards the Lesser Antilles and then head towards and then kind of make landfall. In my opinion, my scenario, like scenario 1 is this impacts stays weak and stays further to the south. I know people are booing in chat. I know, I'm sorry, but yeah, but it stays further to the south, impacts St. Lucia, and then moves kind of further towards the north towards Hispaniola, and then moves out to sea. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, further to the north, impacts Puerto Rico, moves out to sea after that, maybe impacts Guadalupe or Dominica to do that. Scenario 3, it hits the Leeward Islands, the northern Leeward Islands, and then heads out to sea there. In terms of U.S. impacts, is it possible? Yes, but it has to stay kind of weak, and this trough needs to kind of lift at the right possible time for it to do that. So there's that. Those are my scenarios for you right there. So that's kind of where we're at.
It's also far too early.
Oh, absolutely,
to
100%.
discuss U.S. impacts. Just yeah.
I think we'll be having a much different conversation in 5 days.
Weather Kingdom, what's the phrase we've used all day today? What do we tomorrow could be a
whole new ball game.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's just a wait and see, everybody.
Yep, exactly. Just like yeah, exactly. Just like as John has his own meme, Weather Kingdom and I have our own thing as well. John has a little bit of everything. We have a new ball game. So, which one is better? I don't know.
Ball game.
Yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, one moment.
I will catchphrases.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Just for my curiosity, I'm going to check Pivotal real quick. Okay, Pivotal F5. Not out yet.
For what?
Not out
Oh,
yet.
for Pivotal. For Pivotal. Or,
Yep.
But I just wanted to say that, by the way, for the AOI, I, even me and Flora, I know it's far out. I'm still a little on the edge of this thing. Once again, I know this is far out, but you also need to take like serious precautions, even if it's far out, because it could turn at the last second towards you. So like I'm still a little on edge about the system, but I'm gonna wait. I'm patience. You gotta have patience for storms like these.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for hurricane malls. I'm waiting for possible recon. Waiting for just. Huh?
I said getting recon for the first time will be probably one of the most important things.
1000%.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get recon, to be honest with you, for probably another 4 or 5 days at this rate.
Yeah.
How fast is it moving? 8 miles an hour? That's pretty slow.
It's moving slow, like 5 to 10 right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was moving 8.
Yeah, it's slowed down considerably. It needs for it to speed up, it needs to detach from the ITCZ and get picked up by the ridge and the trough. That's what needs to happen.
How would it detach? Just curious.
What's up?
How would it detach from the ITCZ?
So, how that generally would work is basically you have a system that kind of generates its own source of convection, and ultimately kind of, the low pressure system kind of starts to spin out of the ITCZ, similar to how the gyre, if you know that, the low pressure system kind of gets kicked out of there, if that makes sense for it to start developing. It's the same physics and the same dynamics. Weather Kingdom, you know what I'm talking about, where a gyre system kind of is pretty broad, but then a tighter low pressure system forms.
Vortices.
And just
vortices develop, yes,
Yeah.
and then one becomes dominant, and then it leaves that, and then basically that's when we get development. That's the same thing with the ITC.
Yeah.
We get a
Oh,
little mid-level spins / low-level spins, and then whatever one becomes the dominant, it will usually trend. It will move out of the ITC, and you'll see that move north quickly for a little bit, and then it'll start going back on its normal trajectory. The models actually did show that, and it still shows that it will eventually do that.
All right.
I was just so kind of like what happened with Helene. It split from the wasn't there a gyre?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So okay, I was just curious.
There you go.
Thank you.
I hope that helped.
It
Oh,
did. Thank you.
Pat, unfortunately, I'm no longer have any piece, so I'm gonna be taking off
All right,
for
man.
tonight.
Thanks, Delta, for all
All
the
right,
contributing.
see ya.
All the contributions.
Thank you, Delta. Appreciate
nice
it.
night.
Thanks,
Everything.
Delta.
I should be able to do it much longer tomorrow if you're streaming.
I'm not streaming tomorrow. I have stuff going on, but I'm planning to stream Friday night.
That worked too.
Awesome.
Perfect.
That's
I'm streaming
nice.
everything.
All right.
All right. Night, guys.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Weather Kingdom, are you planning to fill in the gaps when
He
Pat's
is.
not on?
Yeah, I am. Even when
When
he's
are you
here,
streaming?
after that stream, I'm going to be streaming right after for the 0Z runs.
Yep.
When will
Okay.
you be streaming Weather Kingdom?
What?
When will you be streaming?
11 o'clock tonight. Around there.
Yep. All right. So that's kind of where we're at right here. I think a lot of the stuff we really covered a lot of bases tonight, honestly. We had like similar, like unlike what we've had with, unlike other scenarios where you've had a situation where, we don't have enough information like we did on Saturday and we couldn't really talk as much as long as we did this time. We actually have a lot more data to look at and a lot more things to kind of look at because we have more modeling, we have more data, we have the NHC really screaming about this. So, so that's kind of the gist of it. One tidbit I want you guys to pay attention to: we're noticing a few blips of convection in this area of interest right here. Are you guys? Hold on, let me see. Are you guys seeing that on my stream on the eastern side?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
I do see it. It's like around like in between 40 and 45 west.
All right. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, about
Between
30 to
40 and
35.
45.
Yes, 30 to 35. That's where it's at right now.
Oh.
It's where
I
my
thought it
cursor
was
is spinning.
Oh, okay.
So we'll need to watch that because if that's, it could be one of two things. If it's popcorn and convection, I wouldn't worry about it. It just flares up and then dies off after a few hours. I wouldn't pay too much stock into it. Just got a message. Okay. All right. Perfect. You just created the broadcast. Wonderful. Splendid. All right. So
Nice.
ultimately, what we got for this is you have this situation. Okay. You have this situation where if it's popcorn and convection, I wouldn't be too worried about that. And then after that, what you have with that is, what am I saying? Okay, if it's popcorn and convection, I wouldn't be too worried about it, but if it's more sustained, that's when it becomes a problem. And someone in chat just mentioned it. It has the capabilities to take its time. You have a lot of moisture in here that you're going to want to pay attention to. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Oh, Weather Kingdom, I saw your stuff. Start it in about 10 minutes, okay? All right? Okay. All right. So I hope that helps. I hope he's in here. So yeah, start in about 10 minutes and make sure your ability to make sure your ability to get share for me to get viewers to your stream is on. So, all right. So that's where we're at.
Hey,
What's up?
I do want to share this.
Go for it.
I'm gonna put um in live no mic.
All right.
In just a quick sec.
Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready. But yeah, it's in a moist environment. The shear is down, down, down where it's at. And we're going to need to pay attention to this. Because ultimately, this is a situation, just like with Aaron, where it could be where it may not seem like much right now. It may seem like just an area of interest, but it's a scary scenario, if I may. It's a scary scenario in the terms of a lot can happen. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's in a very good environment for that to happen. So we'll have to pay attention to it. Why does it look like a smiley face?
All right.
Dry air. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
CPC. Yep. I didn't even
Yeah.
cover it in today's video. I covered it a little bit, but that's your CPC, ladies and gentlemen. Go for it, LTW.
Yeah. So, yes, this is the Climate Prediction Center, or the CPC. And this shows, it doesn't show that if it's not showing like if or when, it's showing like where it could possibly form.
Right.
Like where in an area of interest can possibly form. So like, I know this is like, all the globe version.
Yep.
But this is the formation chances. So like greater than 20% is the areas with the stripes. 40%, greater than 40% is the solid red. And glad we don't see this. Greater than 60% is the dark, is what, a maroonish color.
Right.
So luckily we don't see a 60%. We see a 40% in both week 2 and week 3. So I'm only going to talk about the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific side. But you could obviously see the Western Pacific. But anyway, the week 2, it's showing a 20% chance, a greater than 20% chance of an AOI forming, like an AOI being designated in around the Gulf of Mexico, the Sargasso Sea, around Florida, Bahamas, and another one in the near Capo Verde, but also a 40% chance of an AOI being designated in the EPAC off of Mexico.
All right.
Thoughts on week 2 before I move on to week 3?
No, not really.
Yeah. Weather Kingdom, check your DMs real quickly. As I'm trying to fix something. I'm trying to cook up something for you.
Okay.
I sent you the link to his stream that you can post.
Yep. What I'm trying to do is redirect our audience to his in a way where I can just transfer them directly, so that way they don't have to click on another link. That's what I'm doing. So that way he can get some more audience retention.
Yeah, hopefully he gets all the audience.
Yeah, he should. Yeah. A pretty good chunk of it.
Anyway, any thoughts?
For week 2, I'm more concerned about what's going on in the Gulf and the Caribbean and the Bahamas, because that to me is quite the concerning thing. And part of me is thinking, is this going to be the gyre, or is this going to be the continuation of what's going on with our little area of interest? That's the unknown that I don't know that we have right there. In terms of what's going on in the MDR, not surprising. That's my overall thoughts on it.
How do I do?
Yeah. But also, it looks like there's very good cloud tops and moisture over Cuba. Yeah. Is that the gyre that you're talking about?
Let me look at it. Oh, right now over Cuba?
Yeah,
No,
it's right
that's
now over
mesoscale
Cuba.
convection. That's mesoscale convection.
Oh, that's Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
hey, I'm gonna end my screen share on Discord so I can help Weather Kingdom with something. So I hope that's okay with you guys.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking.
All right. I'm gonna share my
Yeah.
screen again with you, bud, and I want you to
Weather-
follow what I'm doing. All right.
Yeah, second. Yep.
Okay.
I'll let you do that first before I move on to week 3.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, I'm
I just
looking.
yeah. If you have it in live no mic, do you see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
Okay, go to this. Go to
Yep.
let's see, what is it?
Community moderation.
Community moderation. What is it? I think it is. No, it's not. User management. And
User management.
yep,
All right.
and look for that. All right.
Yep. I
See it?
see that, and then what do I do?
Click it.
Yeah, music.
Did you click it?
What do I click on it?
All channels can redirect. Just click the check mark.
Oh yeah, all channels can redirect. All right. Yep. Got it. Do you want me to save it
Hit
then?
save. Yes.
Okay. Yo.
Did you save it?
Okay. Yes, I did.
All right. Perfect. I'll go ahead and.
Do you want me to start? I should start mine, right?
Yeah. Go ahead and start yours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I would not be able to have anyone on Discord because of the difficulty with the audio, though.
That's fine.
I kind of told you that, Pat.
Yeah. It says redirect privileges. Good. Go back to your settings and select and go back to your settings, Weather Kingdom, and
Yeah.
go to community mod, user management, and yeah, channels I can subscribe to can redirect content. Specific channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, just click off that and just click channels I subscribe to redirect my content and all of that.
Okay. Okay.
I know we're losing viewership here, but whatever.
No, keep talking. I
Yeah,
see.
that's
I
fine.
see. You're good.
So you see that? Go ahead and add a user for live redirect and just put Pat's Path Predictor.
Okay.
All right, see if that'll work. Like paste my URL channel to allow a live redirect from. All right.
Yeah. You're good. Keep going. You're good.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. You got it going.
I'll get it
All right,
going.
I'll wait a few
in a
minutes
second.
for you to do that. But anyway, okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at. All right. If you got all that sorted out, let me know when you're done with that, and I'll go ahead and go back to LTW. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. LTW, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. So week 3, there's a 40 there's a greater than 40% chance of development, like around the Lesser Antilles, and there's still like, I'm guessing like a remnant from the week 2 Charles cyclone information probability, because it's still at 20, and there's a 20% in the EPAC of a possible AOI being developed. Remember, this does not tell you then that there's a 40% chance that there will be a storm in this area. This is telling you that there's a greater than 40% chance that an AOI could be designated
Yeah.
in this specific area.
Absolutely.
Thoughts?
For what again?
Okay, hold up. Basically,
I did it.
Week three. All right. Did you get the stream?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Did you get the stream started?
Not yet.
Go ahead and get that taken care of. But anyway.
Okay.
All right. So my thoughts on this is week 3. This is another area we need to watch in the AOI. my concern was once again with the Gulf because of what's going on over there with the gyre and how that might wake up. So that's something to pay attention to. So that's just my opinion on that very quickly.
I also do want to mention this the 20% is pretty consistent like in this area. I do have to mention, even though I said that it could be a remnant, it may not be a remnant. It may be another possible area to watch. Like something comes up, something goes, like, something does like a Rita, like it goes through in between Florida and Cuba and goes into the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. All right, Brother
Um,
Kingdom, I got it set up on my end. So as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna get everyone to your stream. All right. But please continue.
Brother
You have-
Kingdom
no,
live.
oh, yes. It's nice. But
Welcome
yeah,
back,
that's kind of
everybody. This update, we're going to be waiting just a few minutes.
All right.
We are currently taking a
Okay,
look at this.
what's going on?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of all I kind of want to mention.
Okay.
There, and also the wars. Just oh yeah, and also the waters.
Yeah.
I also want to take a look at that.
Yeah.
The oh yeah, can I screen share
Yeah. Give me 1
for
second.
this?
Yeah, I'm just doing
Okay.
some behind the scenes stuff. So go for it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna mainly focus on the North Atlantic. So, you want to talk about this because I can't really explain this. This is the Nina 3.4 anomaly.
Is upgrading. What's
Where's
up?
that at? Where's that LTW? What do you
Uh,
got? Oh.
I think
Oh, that's the
yeah,
ENSO. That's the ENSO.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. I see what you're
There-
looking at right there. So the ENSO is basically just very quickly because we need to. I'm planning to get off pretty soon. The ENSO,
yeah.
we're looking at that rate. We're looking at a negative neutral phase in the regions 3 and 4. What's regions 1 and 2 looking like?
1 in the morning.
Regions 1 and 2,
Yep.
they're looking like
Oh,
this.
that's a massive drop right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty concerning. Now, I will say I think it'll peak too late for hurricane season, but I think it'll peak early enough for winter weather, and that's something we'll watch for sure, and I'll talk more about that down the road. So, thanks for sharing that.
And also the Atlantic is just continuing to warm up, and I'm just like in shock of like how fast it recovered from Aaron. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like fully recovered, and
In a
it's
lot of
gone
areas it
even
is.
more south. Yeah, this is like what 30, 31 Celsius in here, or like maybe like 90 to 92 degrees Fahrenheit, if I'm correct.
Where are we at?
The Caribbean.
Yeah, we're looking at 30 degrees Celsius, 29 mostly, but 30 is concentrated in the Northwest Caribbean.
Yeah, the most volatile areas this the Gulf of Mexico, yeah.
Yep.
And as well, I do also want to show you this, even though you already showed this.
Sure.
The OHC is also very volatile in this area as well.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why
it is.
I also flagged this area, because if it manages to go in with low to no shear, then this could, I think, explode. I'm not trying to be like having like a
Sure.
a Doomcast.
Of course.
But I'm just saying that I think if there's like low to no shear, but the dry air can still get in. But if it gets filtered out like as quick as like what Aaron did, this thing could potentially rapidly intensify. And if it goes like over here,
yeah,
without touching land, this thing could be a
that
very,
could be a
very
concerning
intense
dire
storm.
situation for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I wanted to
All right.
give.
Okay. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, LTW. I really appreciate it. So, okay. I think we've covered everything tonight. Yeah, I think we've covered everything tonight. Kent got kicked off. We'll let him back in. I think we covered everything we want to tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I'm going to be very quick because Weather Kingdom's streaming right now. As soon as this stream ends, you're going to be redirected to his stream. So you'll still be watching coverage and watching his stuff as well. But I really hope you do that. Go subscribe to Weather Kingdom. Let's see if we can get him up to 800 subs tonight. That would be really appreciative for him. Let's see if we can do that for him. But we're going to close the stream out right now for you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for all the support you've given tonight. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow night because I have other things to do, but we will be back on Friday night to see what happens from there, and then it's off to the races. We'll be here all weekend, and we'll be here throughout much of the week, depending on what happens. So with that being said, we're closing it out. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The goal, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. If you'd like to help out, hang out, or ask us questions, feel free to join the Storms United Discord server. The link to that is in the pinned chat. And with that being said, have a wonderful evening, guys.